Hi guys, this is Christine, your relationship and mindset master doctor and your leverage for change. So today I'm going to just speak about the anxious preoccupied attachment style individual and what it would be like to be in relationship with someone from this attachment style, especially if you are not secure and also if the anxious preoccupied person has not healed their attachment style to becoming more secure. So they're still anxious, right? The first thing I want to say is this attachment style fears abandonment. It's one of their core wounds. They fear abandonment. They never experience consistent care or affection or whatever it might be. And so they always kind of fear that the person may not come back when they leave. They're not really sure if the person is coming back. So the tendency is to become very clingy when that person returns or when they sense, feel, or that this person is planning to leave or may leave. It might not be true, it's just a feeling that they get. So what I wanted to kind of really start out by saying is that this particular attachment style, this individual is very caring, very loving, very affectionate, very exciting, somebody who wants to enjoy life, right? They really want just the best. They see romance and love through like these, these colored lenses of everything is good and perfect. And so they will approach relationships kind of like a fairy tale, the ones you read you read as a child, especially the ladies, that the prince rides upon his horse and takes you away and they live happily ever after. So the anxious preoccupied individual has this kind of a belief of what a relationship should look like, right? And so they believe that this person is just going to love them and take care of them and vice versa. And they are very open, emotionally open to give back that affection to that person. Unfortunately, however, sometimes these individuals fall in love or are attracted to individuals who cannot give them what they need. So what happens is that if you're going to be in relationship with someone like this, recognize that this person needs affection. They need the cuddles. They need to be when they're not healed, they need to be reassured constantly until they begin to trust you. They need to be reassured constantly that you will not leave them, abandon them, or do them any harm in terms of hurt their emotions, because they take things very, very seriously. They take relationships very seriously to their detriment in terms of, and you should take relationships seriously, but what I mean is they will put everything aside for their relationship. They have a tendency to focus on their romantic relationships to the detriment of everything else. So they have a tendency to put their partners on a pedestal and really just have their lives revolve around this individual. And so you can imagine that when this happens, when that person decides to leave or hurt them in some way, that it can be really painful and harmful for the individual with the anxious preoccupied attachment style. Because I believe most individuals with the anxious preoccupied attachment style, they really go in looking for real and true love, right? They really want someone to love and for them to love someone. They want that they want that love and that kind of connection in a relationship. And as I mentioned, it's only the secure person who will be able to give them that kind of connection and be able to reassure them, right? With someone from the avoidant personalities, from the avoidant attachment style guys, you're going to experience this individual as clingy or needy because you are triggering their trauma of abandonment and lack of safety in the relationship, because you are distant, you are someone who will not answer the phone when they respond or even call them back. So they keep wondering. The tendency, however, is that if you're with someone like this and you're now with someone and you really want to make this work, and say even if you're a dismissive avoidant, right, and you are trying to change your attachment style and you also want to be in a healthy relationship, you have to be aware that the things that trigger this attachment style, the anxious preoccupied, is when they call you that you don't respond, right? But I'm saying this, but at the same time, I'm thinking that it is so difficult for someone with the dismissive and the fearful avoidant attachment style to really do this until they're healed, because their automatic response, their subconscious response to if you call or if you get too emotionally connected to them or what, they can't take the emotional depth, so they will run, right? But if you're I will probably, it's best to speak about the secure individual. When you're with this individual, the anxious preoccupied individual, the best way is to recognize that this individual, they need consistency, because that was lacking in their relationship with their caregivers. They need consistency. They need to know that you're not leaving them, that you're not planning to leave them, that you're in this relationship, for the long haul, right? They want to know that they can trust you. They want to know that if you don't answer the phone, it's because it has to be a very good reason. You might be in a meeting, because you're going to call them back and say, honey, I was in a meeting. So you're going to quell those fears that you might be doing something else, right? And if they get anxious, you sit and you will be patient enough to listen to them. The thing about the anxious preoccupied individual is that with a secure individual, this individual can actually get more secure, because after a while, right, if this relationship with this secure individual is consistent and they do things consistently and they don't feel that they can't trust them, then they will now it will now calm all the anxiety they normally and preoccupation they feel with always having you close by or access to you in some way by the phone or text or whatever. So it really is the awareness that the secure individual, if you're in relationship with an anxious preoccupied individual, to be aware that this relationship can work. You just have to be aware that the things that trigger this individual is going to be lack of consistency, not responding to their text, not giving reasons why they couldn't get you, because at that point, guys, it's just their anxiety that's acting out. It's not that they don't trust you, really. It's just that it's that automatic thing. And I'm not saying, guys, that the secure should put up with all of this and the anxious should just sit and act out of their their preoccupation of relationship and get away with everything. It needs to be a combined effort on both sides to understand each other. And the anxious preoccupied individual now has to understand that they have to actually also say what they need from this individual, because this individual, the secure individual, cannot read their minds. They're secure, but they're not mind readers, right? And they have to be told, this is why I felt this way, or this is what makes me really anxious, or this is what, and so then the secure individual can now understand what they need to do to quell that kind of anxiety, right? It's an effort by both parties, not just the secure individual. You cannot put it on the secure individual to fix you. You also have to take responsibility. This is the anxious preoccupied now. You have to take responsibility for your actions and work to change them so that you can have a cohesive relationship with your partner. It cannot be just on the secure individual, because that sometimes can drive that person away, especially if you're doing it and not even having having any kind of a thing there for their feelings, right? You cannot, and this happens in any relationship, guys. It doesn't even have to be with a secure partner. And worse though, but if you do that with somebody else with another attachment style, they won't even put up with that, because they also have their issues that they have to work on, right? So just just to say that it is possible for someone with an anxious, preoccupied attachment style to really kind of have a good relationship with a secure individual, but it's almost impossible for an anxious, preoccupied attachment style individual to have a relationship with someone who's fearful avoidant or dismissive avoidant, especially if they've not healed. I'm talking about the unhealed attachment style individual now. The anxious and all the others, avoidant and the dismissive, the fearful and the dismissive. So guys, I hope that that kind of give you some kind of clarity and hope that, I'm speaking to the anxious preoccupied individual now. The tendency for the anxious preoccupied can be also something that can be their downfall, because especially because they've had relationships with dismissive avoidant, because usually that's the attraction. And there's always this constant push and pull, up and down, fight, trauma, all of this going on. When you meet someone who's secure, you may have the tendency to think the person is boring. This happens a lot, and the person will now leave that person because they have been used to all these traumatic and toxic relationships with other partners in their past, because those are the partners that you were attracted to before you met this secure person. Then you might have the tendency to start dismissing this secure individual because they don't cause all of that drama and the trauma, right? So you have to be very careful of that, guys. Be very careful of that and understand that the reason why you're the one who needs healing, not them. Okay, so if you found some value in this video, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And again, guys, this is Christine, your relationship and mindset master doctor, and your leverage for change. Take care, guys, and keep growing. Bye-bye.